Well, I got frustrated with my first aid supplies, my medical supplies. I try to keep them all in the master bathroom closet, but my organization wasn't the best. And maybe you have to dig too far just to find a simple Band-Aid. So I decided I'd take everything out and reorganize. And what my goal was is to have everything labeled, easy to reach, and even if it's not me getting the supply, somebody would be able to find the supply they need in the closet. Which I did not realize how much medical supplies I have until I started going through this closet. So first let me show you what was just in a 3-drawer file on rollers in there. I think you'll be impressed at how much it actually held. So here's the file cabinet that basically started my reorganization. Let me show you what's in it. In the bandages drawer, we have a lot of bandages. They're all various by sizes, 5 different packs. Splinter out, more Spiriticin, styptic pencil, and tape, new skin, some more gauze, some Neosporin, some little tampons, which can be helpful for wound care. A lot of different Band-Aids back there. And then a lot of different gauzes. In the exam glove pain relief drawer, look inside, we have a bunch of gloves. We have some Cool Zone, nice for sunburn, some Bengay, Maxi Freeze, Stop Pain, and a lot of hot pads and cold pads. And that's basically it in this drawer. In the bottom wound drawer, we have a lot of skin stapler items, some alcohol prep, a complete sutures, wound gel, some really bandage, some first aid tools, more bandages, and sporiticide, some non-stick bandages, wound irrigation kit, tape, a lot of gauze, and medicinal honey, both from Chile and from New Zealand. Now this is where I've lost some footage for this video. What I did was take everything out of the drawers that sometimes were hard to open because they were so full, and I put everything in different categories. Yes, they were already categories in the file itself, but I guess these would be subcategories. So I had these huge piles on my bedroom floor, and from those piles I decided what size I would need for container for organization and how to go and really organize things so they would be visible and easy to access. So on the top shelf we have some more hygiene type stuff, sun protection, but you can see the nitrile gloves, a whole thing just of Band-Aids. At the very top in the middle there you'll see medical tools, which are special scissors and tweezers, things like that. Underneath, and it's very easily accessible, are the 2 blood pressure cuffs, our pulse oximeter, and at the very bottom, the stethoscope. So you can easily look in the cupboard and grab what you need. So here's our existing first aid kit, easy to pull out and get to. It has most of the basic supplies. I have a video on that if you're interested. And the infrared thermometer, which is real popular nowadays. And this is a step-by-step first aid book. And then here, it says first aid supplies, is where most of the supplies have went that was in the 3-drawer rolling file cabinet. And let me show you exactly what's in here. So here's the big supply area here. Let's take off the top. First, before I take off the top, I guess you can see I've got labeled. So if you needed staplers or sutures right away, it's here. Gauze and abdominal bandages here. And over here, gauze and trauma bandages. So it gives you an idea right away where you can find something. Okay, so as it says, you have everything in here from zip stitch to disposable skin staplers. And there's all kinds of even sutures in here. Just various things. So it's all here, ready to go. Even like here, it's a little suture kit. So again, everything ready to go. Various sutures. Would I ever use these? Jesus, only in an emergency, if the urgent care was closed or whatever we need. Maybe this zip stitch. But as for the stapler and sutures, no, only if it was dire times. Now, this is where it gets a little, you can pull this out. So down below is all the surgical tape. Over here we have things for wound healing, and here is honey and various other medication, and even a cauterizer. And we have a bunch of packets of medicinal honey here. Still things are pretty tight fit here. This was supposed to be on the top to show that, but it keeps moving around. Okay, let's put this back. So here's our gauze and trauma bandages. And iodine in case we need it. Wound irrigation kit. And trauma bandages and extra gauzes. And over here is what's taking up the most room, our gauze and abdominal bandages. You know, a lot of just basic gauze. Other gauze. Because believe me, if you have a bad wound, you need a lot of gauze. I also have some aqua gauze here. Some Metaplex border, which is really a big one that would be needed. And some Kendall Curity bigger bandages. Anyway, a lot of different gauzes. But they're all here, easy to access, quick if you need it. And in the back here is alcohol and disinfectant wipes. Again, pretty easy to get at. Here we have just kind of miscellaneous supplies, some disposable thermometers, some Burt's Bee for poison ivy soap, and various different medications. And for dehydration. And we have here eye wash, just in case it's needed. And now you can see easier here for the wound healing. So we also have new skin and even more med honey. I mean, this stuff really, I think, works. Okay, so hopefully we can put everything back the way it was. So that gives you an idea what's in here. Most of the file cabinet stuff fit in here. The splints did not, and some of the other things, but overall, everything's in here, and I think it's much easier to access, especially if you had a bad wound and need to get at something quick. And then on the other side, this, and it's just got some of the creams you might be using, lavender oil, which I use all the time, some hydrogen peroxide, some other thermometers. Down at the bottom here is Neosporin and a SWAT tourniquet if needed. But it's very, very easy to accessible, and we do use these things right at the front quite often. And then we have some other supplies here on the side. I don't think you can see into the right, but there's more hydrogen peroxide, and there's mineral oil, pain control. And there's even witch hazel back there. So a lot of different things on here, but hopefully all labeled and easy to access. And I'm still using the 3-drawer file here. The top though is for soaps, and then I have masks, and at the very bottom, splints and wraps. So again, easily accessible, not overfilled so you can hardly open it. Well, that's it. I hope I inspire you to look at your first aid supplies, make sure things are up to date. Do you have what you need? And does your family know where to find what they need if something happens? I urge you to try an organization project of your own. You know, am I completely happy with mine? Of course, you're never completely happy. But I think it is much, much better than the way it was before. This is Potpourri saying please subscribe and share the knowledge.